Welcome to Jonesin', where we go over trippy true crime and the drama that surrounds it. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe.
Okay, so this is just a little clipped version of everything that DeetS on the Streets has been dealing with when it comes to Jonathan Lee Riches, the famous investigator. There are a few clips of her live she did the other night explaining the impact that his actions have caused against Jenny, aka Gavel Geeks, as well as her friends and family.
I created a video yesterday, a premiere. It was very long. It was about an hour. So I made it a premiere instead of just a video. I want to show you all why I believe that Jonathan Lee Riches is the ultimate true crime tragedy parasite. Yes, different from tragedy pimp. I know that's the preferred term around here, but I prefer parasite. All the information that I put in that video is publicly found information. Any of you can Google that name and find everything I found. That was my whole point, was creating this visual timeline of the things that Jonathan Lee Riches has done. And I was prepared for the backlash. I truly was. I was prepared for the trolling. I mean, I'm sharing all this information about one of YouTube's biggest trolls, maybe one of the internet's biggest trolls. So I was prepared for that. I have known Gavel Geeks, I don't know her, but I know who she is online the same way I know Queen Bee and Chasing Truth and Pecan Pie. I created a DeetS Facebook account, but it wasn't for the reason of looking around on Facebook. It was because I was creating a video it was a tribute video to Summer Wells, and I still have it. I haven't posted it yet. It's something that I'm going to go ahead and wait till her 2nd anniversary of going missing before I put it out, because it was a very touching video. And I had emailed back and forth with Tiffany Marie about pictures for that video. I asked her to look at that Facebook account and make sure that she couldn't see any of my personal information. I wanted to make sure that DeetS Facebook account wasn't connected to me at all. So she did. She went and looked at it and added me as a friend and then messaged me. Gavel Geeks added me on there and never interacted with each other on there. Just she added it, made sure nothing could be seen, and I think sent me a message on it to make sure that the messenger was working on there so that I could contact Tiffany about these pictures. Sometime today, he found that DeetS Facebook account, and the only friend on there is Gavel Geeks, because I didn't do anything with it. And he automatically assumed that Jenny was DeetS. Jenny here, who I have emailed with for about 8 months now, I would say, off and on, hasn't even watched this video. And he proved my point with that video that he is trolling people in the true crime community for whatever reason. And I don't think it's money. I don't at all. This evening, and I don't know the time, Jenny can get into that in her story, Jonathan Lee Riches, I actually think it started with his friend in one of his Facebook groups, shared out a screenshot of my thumbnail from my premiere and tagged Jenny's real name, because she's a member of this group. I'm not. And he tagged, sorry, it's a she, I think. The name's Kat. Tagged Jenny's real name and asked why she was attacking or bashing Jonathan Lee Riches.
Well, they said, let's chat.
Oh, let's chat. Is that what it was? And
and JLR made a separate post.
Yeah, he made another one. And
it said,
for those if she wants.
This is, hi, Jenny Waters, a.k.a. DeetS on the Streets. Do you and your husband, Michael, I said his name before, have a problem with me? Now, why is my husband part of that? Why am I part of that?
In this Facebook group that has 25,000 people in it, right? Is that what you said? 24, 25?
24, yeah.
Outing her full real name, her husband's name, and asking why thinking Jenny is me, and why she did this video about him, bashing him, attacking him, all these things. First of all, as you guys can plainly hear, Jenny is not me. But that doesn't give him the reason to do what he did next. And so he shares her full name, her husband's full name, their Facebook accounts. And then he starts contacting friends of Jenny's on Facebook, sending them messages about that video, about her asking, why is your friend attacking me? Or I don't remember all the ones that you had sent to me. How many people did he message?
I don't know. I stopped looking for, I don't know how many more there are.
When I had heard it was 3, maybe more at that point.
And my friends list is blocked. Like, you can't see my friends from my Facebook. So he was going through other means to find them.
what he was doing was searching her full name on Facebook, and anybody who has ever tagged her in a picture, he's obviously going to assume they're friends with her. And then he starts going through their Facebook accounts and contacting them that way. But it gets worse, guys. This isn't even the worst of it. After he contacts some of her friends, he posts in this it's a private Facebook group, but it has 25,000 members. The bulk of them are Summer Wells community because it's a Summer Wells Facebook group. And he shares her and her husband's pictures in there. And this other friend that created...
Two other friends, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the other friend that created the original post, right? She's the one who was like going in hard on you at first. Then he posted her mom and her brother's Facebook accounts in there. Linked Jenny's mother, who has nothing to do with YouTube, has nothing to do with my DeetS video. Her mother doesn't even know who I am. She probably doesn't even know who Jonathan Lee Riches is.
She doesn't.
And he posts her Facebook link in this group that's huge for all these people to see and click on. Who knows if they'll contact her mother and her friends. And then he also does it to her brother, her adult brother, not a minor, thankfully.
Who he does not know. The thing is, with all that too, it was like to see it first is like upsetting, right? Because it's like, that's my mama,
right?
Like,
and
seriously. And then I thought, this is what you do? Like, this is your you go find out who people are related to? That's your go-to? That's your thing? My mom already knows what I do. She already knows that people like him are out there. We've talked about it before. Mm-hmm. I have a lawyer who actually knows the law.
Guess what, Jonathan? I do too. And he's a damn good lawyer. So to go after her because he thinks she's me.
But he knows better. He just told me right before we went live, he said, well, I know it's not her, but she knows who DeetS is. Will she tell me? And I said, absolutely not. So you can harass her? Are you serious?
Wow.
What kind of brain thinks that someone would do that to anyone, really? I wouldn't do it to anybody.
Can you imagine being one of Jenny's friends and getting a message from some stranger on the internet? And I'm sure her friend's messages read something like the one he sent DeetS that says, hello, investigative reporter Jonathan Riches here. Mm-hmm. Would love to interview. And then he says their full names and address in this message about the true crime community. Slander, libel, defamation. Thanks. I want you to explain your feelings in a second. But imagine getting those messages, her friends, just being... not knowing what's happening on YouTube or anything like that. And you get a message from some strange guy saying, hey, why is your friend doing this? And you're like, what the hell? Like, I don't know what this is about. It's awkward. It's weird. Then you Google that guy's name. That's just... Yeah. Now imagine that 4 of your close friends were recently murdered and you have some strange guy contacting you like this. Not only is he hurting the true victims, he's creating new victims. Jenny and her friends have nothing to do with me. And he just victimized them. Harassed them, attacked them, whatever you want to call it. And if you are willing to, I would like you to explain your feelings and what you went through. Like how did that feel when your first friend contacted you and let you know?
It was it's like upsetting at first. It's such a violation. Right? This is... First of all, I've never done anything to the guy. Never talked about it, don't know him, don't care. So for him to come and just look up my mama and put her information out there, that was the worst part because she knows she knows about my channel and she knows that there are people that do things like that. But it doesn't matter. Seeing my mama up there is like, I don't need to, it's such a violation. It truly is. And when I talked to DeetS about this, she told me what she just said to you guys about imagine already being the victim of a crime and then you're getting this. Mm-hmm. And that's why I'm here. But this is proof. It's proof of what she was saying in the video, what he does to people. I cannot imagine going through trauma of some kind and then this is what you're faced with and he doesn't stop. I've avoided and ignored these sick, disgusting people because I was afraid of them. And I realized that, hey, I mean, this is so much easier than having to deal with what some of these victims have had to deal with.
But he made you a victim. In this instance, there's no bones about it. We're not going to sugarcoat it. He turned Jenny, her family, and her friends into victims of his harassment. And not just his, guys. A group of 25,000 people. It also proves my point that there's no fact checking, no deep diving before you put that information out. Nothing of the sort. And think about the victims that he says he's advocating for, and their families and their friends, and what they're going through. So we have two options: ignore it and hope it goes away, hope he doesn't continue to harass her family and her friends, or, face it, or, do it.
And it's not nearly as bad for me as it is for people who are already or accused of being something they're not, like a murderer. But he does that all the time, guys. I mean, investigative journalism means that you check your information before it goes out. He doesn't do that.
I don't know if there is a possibility for change or not, but I do think it's important for people to know this information and to be aware of it, because they could become the next person he attacks or contacts or creates a, false video about. Nothing.
This is not okay, Jonathan Lee Riches. I would say you need to get some help, man. Yeah, get help. And as far as you're concerned,
we are DeetS.
Thanks for watching, y'all. I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Bye.